Yeah, thank you again for joining us. We always appreciate y'all coming. And if you have any questions at any time, feel free to either pop it in the chat. I'll have one of my colleagues let me know that somebody's asked a question, or come off mute, shout my name, scream, whatever you want to do. But cool. I will go ahead, start presenting and sharing my screen. I can't click the right button. There we go. Cool. So, like I mentioned, welcome to another Training Tuesday. This week is going to be about templates. I'm sure many of you have already used these, and if not, they are really simple. But I'll be here to answer any questions you have and just kind of talk a little bit through it. Basically, we're just going to go through today what is a template in very broad terms. We're going to talk a little bit about custom forms, how you use them with templates, some uses regarding templates, and then just a live demo so you can see them in use. A little bit of housekeeping, like I mentioned earlier, this is being recorded for posterity, and you can find the rest of the training sessions here at the following link. I will drop it in chat really quick. You can find them all here at our help link. You can find all the previous sessions. We'll post recordings there. You can see future sessions, what we're going to be covering. If you have any suggestions about what you would like to be covered in the future, if you don't see it, feel free to drop us an email or a chat anytime. We'll be happy to discuss that. So if you remember me from last time I spoke, or if you've seen me over calls or emails or anything, my name's Jackson. I'm one of the members of the help team. This is my face. You can see me. I'm always willing to chat about anything. If you have any questions about Tikit, how to set up something, you have any issues, reach out. I'm your guy. So basically, templates I feel like are pretty self-explanatory, but there's two big properties in it. There is a set of predefined properties that you can apply to them. You can say, there's a template, I want to have a certain assignee, I want to have a certain priority, I want to have a certain due date on all of these. And then you just define that for any sort of task you want to apply one thing after another to. I don't know if you've noticed this over the past couple of sessions, but the name of the game with a lot of our features is streamlining your IT experience. We want to reduce the overall workload on your IT professionals, and this is just another way that we can do it. So if you have a lot of the same topic that you want to cover with templates, for example, onboarding, you can create one template for onboarding, apply that to every ticket, every ticket that you get with onboarding, and just, you don't have to recreate the entire thing every time. And the second big thing with templates is custom forms. It's just a way to further customize your templates so you're not just stuck with what we have on the templates already. You can kind of create a more in-depth customized template to apply to these tickets. And we're actually going to talk about that a little more in this slide. Yeah, so what's a custom form? It's a form, a custom, hence the name. It uses the Microsoft Adaptive Card Schema, which anything that they support, we also support in there. We have an editor in the template that it updates in real time, so you can see exactly what changes you're making reflected in the editor. It's a really streamlined, simple interface. You can either click and select any of the options on the sidebar, or you can edit the schema manually via JSON. Just kind of depends on your comfort level with that. We try to support any range of expertise, be that, very beginner or really in depth. So you can do either one of those. And the custom forms are easily exported into Power Automate and Power BI. We're not going to talk too heavily about that today because we do have some future sessions about both of those topics, but I did just want to bring it to you guys' attention just so you know that it is a thing that you can do. This loads. Here's some of the uses that you can use templates for. The big one that we see with, like I mentioned, the example of onboarding earlier, you can apply life cycles to tickets via templates. It's really just further streamlining your IT experience. We're trying to reduce that overall workload, just make things easy to apply to tickets so you don't have to repetitively do it over and over again. Kind of like I mentioned last time, we support exporting some custom form data to Power Automate. which you can use via the parse JSON trigger and then card answer JSON. That's how you would see the answer information or the template information from the custom form data into Power Automate. In our live demo, I'll kind of go over that just a little bit, but from a very high level, that's how you would do it in Power Automate. And you can also export any custom form data and by that template data into Power BI. Again, we'll have another session on that in a little bit, but kind of want to touch on it. There's two big queries, though, that you want to have the difference between. Card template JSON is what you're going to have like the actual template information, like the name of it, the data, all that sort of thing. And then, yeah, card template JSON is going to define the actual card, like what you're seeing in the template. And then card answer JSON is where you're going to have the key value pair of the custom form, which we'll see in the demo in a little bit. But that's just kind of the distinction. They're very similar queries. Yeah, you can see just one word's different in each of them, but that's the little nuance between them. So for our demo, I want to show you guys some real examples. As you can see, we have I've created 2 tickets. I have one that is an onboarding. Like I mentioned, that's kind of the example that I like to use with these with these templates. We have an onboarding. We're going to onboard me, Jackson, and I applied a template earlier that applied this lifecycle to it. So you see, I didn't have to create any of this. I just created the lifecycle earlier. Template applied all this. You can see all that. So you can apply a template during the actual ticket creation, and it just automatically fills out all of these. It's set as a low priority. We've signed it over to Brad. We've even set the category as onboarding, and it's using the template onboarding new employees. Say you created a ticket and you forgot that you wanted to apply a template to it during the ticket creation process. Not a worry. I have this software change request, but I didn't apply my template to it. All right. There's a handy little apply template button up here where you can apply a template to a ticket after you've created it. So you can click apply template. We're going to find my software change request. And this is one that I created with a custom form. So you can see what this looks like when you're applying a template with a custom form. I'm going to click it, click next, and you have 2 options, basically. You can answer that form now if you're just the one that's creating it. It's kind of like maybe for an internal ticket, not necessarily one that's going to be so customer facing. Or you can send the custom form to the requester via the virtual agent. I'm going to select that option, and I'll show you what that looks like on the requester side. So we're going to save and send. We see it's updated, and we see the template is software change request. We should get, yep, new software. This is the custom form that I created for this template. We're going to change the software. We're going to say, oh, we want to use Excel, Photoshop, or Skype next quarter. We're going to use Skype. Let's bring back Skype. Love it. Going to submit that, and we'll get an update by the virtual agent of the card. There we go. So we see custom form answers, software, Skype. We'll also see that reflected in here if we refresh. Yep. So we see that it changed custom form response, changed custom form response. Perfect. And so we should be able to see that in custom form answers, which new software you want to be using next quarter. Skype is reflected there. So pretty simple. I also want to walk you guys through kind of just like a template creation process, what the custom form creation process looks like, because I know it can look a little bit daunting if you're not super familiar with it, but I can assure you, very simple, not scary at all. We're going to go to templates, and that's just via settings, left side, templates. We're going to create a new template. Let's call this, we add onboarding. Let's just go offboarding, right? That's something we do, hopefully not frequently, but that is something that has to be done. Use this template to offboard employees. Perfect. So what do we want to do with this one? Well, we can say we want the status to be active immediately when we apply it. We want the ticket type. We'll just have it as a change request. Why not? And then category, we'll have it as onboarding. You would have that as like onboarding / offboarding, but for our purposes, we'll just do onboarding. Priority, low, and then we want the due date. Let's have a relative due date of tomorrow. Tag just for our visibility. And then you could create a life cycle to offboard employees, but we're not going to apply one just for right now. Instead, we're going to go next. And this is where you get the option to add a custom form. So you can either have a predefined form. We have a couple of predefined forms here. You can add one from scratch, or you can do no custom form, just do these properties and bish bash. So let's go with predefined form just so we can see what a populated form looks like already. I'm going to do onboard new employee. We're going to create it. It'll take its time to load. And then you can see the custom form editor. So there's a lot of stuff here. A little intimidating, like I said, but I assure you, it's really pretty simple. All of these elements on the left, you can double click and it'll add over here just at the bottom. Or alternatively, you can do that. You can edit anything in this card payload editor. This is just JSON, so you can edit it that way if that's what you're comfortable with. But I find that a lot of people just like to use these buttons on the left side to edit it over here. Now, you can see that this is what the custom card is going to look like over here to your end user. We're saying we're going to onboard a new employee, except that's not what we're doing this time. We are going to offboard it. So if you click that, you can actually see what that is represented by in the card structure, and you can just click it, that'll highlight it, and you can edit it over here in the element properties. So first of all, if we're going to start with the onboard, we're just going to say, instead of onboard new employee, we're going to offboard old employee. Perfect. Hiring somebody, we can click on that. Alternatively, we can just click on our options here and the right side as well, whichever one you're more comfortable with. I'm going to say, need to get our employee out of here. And then we can say what this input.text is going to be. The label, I'm going to have first name. That's going to be fine. Everything else looks good there. This is simply just an input.text block. If I were to delete that, Control delete, Shift delete. I delete that. Oh, ignore that for right now. But you could drag in an input text if you wanted to. Just to create a new one if you wanted to. It's pretty simple. So first name, last name, job title. These are all just kind of the key value pairs that I mentioned earlier. The ID that'd be the key would be job title, and then the value is whatever they provide it in. Alternatively, if you had like an input choice set or anything like that, these would be your key value pairs over here. So you could have key one be like I did for the soft board. You could have it be fired and then just F. Key two be not fired and F. Just like that. And then for the label, we can say retain employee. That's going to drop that right down to the bottom. Label is a retained employee. Here's your key value pairs down here. This would provide a drop down. You would select just these two options on the left. That's what's going to be presented to your end users. But simple enough. That's your custom form editor. Everything there looks good. Yep. And so that is good. Template looks good. We can see offboarding has no ticket count. We haven't applied it to anything, but the two templates that we applied earlier, software change request and onboarding new employees, both have a ticket count of 1. So that's just an easy way to track how many tickets your templates are applied to. And we can see if we go back to tickets, let's add a new ticket, offboard Jackson C. We're going to apply the template of offboarding. We're going to send that custom form to the requester. Going to make the requester Adele. That's the account we're using. And boom, create. Ticket was created. Should get a chat here. Boom. Oh, I don't think I saved the custom form, actually. That would be good to do. Yeah, I didn't save the custom form. Oops. Let's do that really quickly. Offboard. E. Boom. And we wanted to do a choice set right at the bottom. There we go. Question mark. Fired. Not fired. F and an F. Cool. Oh, I understand why it didn't let me save. I think I do anyway. So yeah, that's another really useful feature of this card editor. You will be able to say, if you're able to save it, not this will not pop up, but if you're not able to save it, this will pop up and saying all inputs must have a unique ID. Okay, I didn't provide a ID for this one. Let's call it 10. There you go. That at the bottom went away. I can save this, and then probably have to recreate this ticket, but that's okay. Let's actually just reapply the template. Next, send custom form. Updated. There we go. See, offboard employee. So say Jackson, CEO, help desk, fired, not fired, hopefully. Submit, and then that'll populate the answers. So you can see, even though it's difficult to mess up. It will provide you validation if you have something that looks a little wonky. It won't let you save it. You'll say, oh, that didn't save. Something must not have gone well. Cool. Custom form answers. If we refresh, that will populate. Boom. Jackson CEO, help desk, not fired. Perfect. So, that's templates. That's custom forms. Yeah, they're pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. You can see, even though I made a little mistake there, it's really easy to rectify, really easy to validate whether or not you're doing the correct thing. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about what I showed? Want to see another example really quick? Willing to do another live example if anybody has a specific scenario they want to work out or anything like that. Yeah, David.
If we wanted to get those custom form answers into the body of the message, so it was a little easier to see in the ticket history what those responses were, is that something that we would want to do with Power Automate, or what would you suggest for that?
Like just the answers of it being displayed alongside the rest of the ticket information via the virtual agent?
Right. So in that big center column where you've got the other messages about the ticket, it would just, if for some reason people wanted to refer back to that without kind of going over to the side and expose. And I'm not even sure what for the end user experience. I'm not sure. We're still new to ticket. I don't know how they would see what they had filled out. Right.
So if your user is existing solely in Teams, you can see the ticket here. This is exactly the offboarding ticket that I have over here, number 243. My custom form answers actually just get populated right beneath the rest of the ticket answer. And you can see that was the same deal with this ticket earlier where I did the software change request. The custom form answer just gets populated directly below the rest of the ticket information. As far as applying it to the center column, you might want to do something via Power Automate where you're parsing that JSON answer and then adding it as maybe a private comment if you're wanting your agent to be able to view it in this center console, or as a public comment if you just want everybody to use it. But yeah, so as far as Teams goes, it gets populated right beneath the rest of your ticket information. But if you want it to exist in the web console, Power Automate would probably be your best bet.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Great question. Thank you. Anybody else have anything they want to ask? Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah, so you say when you apply a template to existing ticket there, now we're having our users fill out a template for a request, but then we also have one that we apply later on when they go pick up the device itself. You say when you can the requester, you put their information, whoever the requester is, they'll be able to fill out the new template. Is that only done through Teams, or can they do that through the web portal through Ticket as well?
Yeah, so if let me go to the requester portal and we can try this out. Requests. So yeah, as a requester, this is the portal that you are going to be shown. You can add a request. You would not be able to, as a requester, fill out that information just because you can only submit requests as a requester here. But if you were to reply a ticket at a later time, or not ticket, if you were to apply a template at a later time and it had that custom form information, that would then send a virtual agent prompt to the requester. Otherwise, it would. I'm trying to hash this out in my head here really quickly.
Hey, sorry, Jackson, it's Jeff here.
Yeah.
What was the question? I wonder if I can jump in.
Yeah, so basically the way we're currently doing is we have a tablet request form that they fill out. Once it's approved, we go ahead and we basically say, hey, it's ready for pickup. Then when they come into our office to pick up the tablet, we have them fill out another template. So, but we're applying the template to the pre-existing ticket that was already open. That way it's all together there. And I'm wondering, when we apply that, having the requester, or we have a special laptop in here, when we apply that template to there with that specific user, are they able to fill out the form or that template at that given time, or is it going to be grayed out like it previously was, or do they also, or will they have the ability to do that within Teams itself?
So, quick clarifying here. Are you applying like two templates for the same ticket?
Yes. Well, there would
Okay.
be one initially that started it, and then there would be additional one later on being added.
Gotcha. So, I think I got an answer for you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, but I think it's going to be pretty similar to David, where that initial template, you might want to store that information as possibly a private comment just for your agent's point of view, and then you could apply another template at a later time. But once you apply that other template, it's going to wipe out that data from the first template. So just in order to store the data, you might want to have it stored as a private comment,
So
and then
just going to jump in because I don't think that's quite right, because I don't think you can apply a second template. So unless I've missed something, you can only apply one template, and you'll see, Jackson, if you could just show a ticket with a template, I think you did that in the call in the training session, that the apply template button is not provided if you're on a ticket that already has a template. That's to stop you overriding yourself effectively.
Because this one has a template and you can apply another one. But I think I understand, Jeff.
Maybe if
'Cause,
it's got a life cycle.
maybe because I did apply a template in the creation, but it also does have a life cycle. Oh no, you can
Huh?
apply a template to this one as well. That might be
There's
something
no
we need to look
form.
at.
There's no form already. I can see on that one. Form is
Yeah,
blank.
because this one already had a life cycle on it.
So Matthew, you must one of your templates. Only one of your templates must have a form. Is that correct? Maybe it's just the second one. The first one doesn't have a form for initial input from the end user. Is that?
So the way we're currently doing it is we have a ticket open that was originally generated from a template being requested and filling out. We then go ahead and close it. Then we have them go ahead and open up another template, and we're merging them together to get to work with what we're doing. But I'm wondering I don't know if there's been an update since the last time we spoke, but where you can apply two templates essentially to one ticket, but also have the affected user be able to fill out the form rather than just an admin. And that's where we're running into issues. And that's why we're having to create two different tickets initiate with a template initiated to make it work with what we're doing.
Okay, so a couple of things. I think we'll move on, but yeah. So I got confused earlier. Sorry if I derailed us. You can apply a second template, but you can't apply a second template with a form. That's the limitation. One form per ticket. And once it's been set, you can't then apply another one. So that's why you're having to start another ticket because you want to have especially a second form. And I would be interested to have a further conversation with you about that, probably offline now, just time-wise, about your use case and understand that a bit better. Because right now that is a product limitation. One form can be added and then that's it. However, there's two potential options. First to note, if you wouldn't mind just clicking apply template for me, Jackson, and show that again, that when you do apply a template with a form,
Oh,
you
let's
get
get
the
to one with the form. Sorry.
No, apply one with a form. One that doesn't have a form. Yeah.
Oh, that's because it's
It's already
a
got
life cycle,
yeah,
not a form. Sorry.
Here we go. So here you get the option. Do you want to fill this in? Sorry, the first one actually is to send it to the requester via Teams. The second option is that the agent fills it in right now. So sidestepping the two forms thing, if you actually want to apply a template with a form after the fact, you can still send it to the end user to actually fill it out via Teams.
So it'd be only done through Teams though, and not through the web portal then.
Correct. Yeah, it
Okay.
that notification goes out via the ticket virtual agent. That's the Teams bot for end users, saying I've got a form for you to fill in, and it gives them that form.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Do you say that would remove the previous one though, or does that previous?
No, it won't let you add a second form if you already have a form.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there's two things there. One is that you can't actually do what you want to do, but I just wanted to point out that in general, when you can apply a form, you can choose whether to fill it in yourself or send it to the user via Teams.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm going to send you an email, Matthew, and we'll probably find time to discuss further.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Yep. Apologies for that confusion. I slightly misspoke, but thank you for the assist there, Jeff.
Same. No, me too. I got myself very confused. So team effort, the whole team.
There we go. There we go.
All of us on the training session.
Very cool. Yeah, but thanks you for bringing that up. That was a great question. Obviously, got a great dialogue going. Hopefully Jeff can help you out there. But anybody have any more questions in the last couple minutes while we have here? Okay. Well, sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead, stop sharing my screen, stop the recording. But if anybody has any follow-up questions after this session, feel free to reach out to us at Help at Tikit AI or live chat. We'll be happy to help you out there, answer any questions you have. Look forward to next week where Justin Workman's going to be talking about life cycles, which we touched on briefly here, but he will go more in depth. Jeff? Oh, you're clapping. Sorry. I thought you raised your hand.
I was
Very
just
cool.
saying, yeah, come back next week. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Yep. Come back next week. Just when we're talking about life cycles. But if there's nothing else, have a great rest of everybody's day.